What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. I have been seeing a few videos coming out as of late concerning Kevin Samuels and the traveling community, all right, are the traveling brothers, all right. There was one that one master teacher did, the other day. I didn't see that video. I saw some, and then I saw also another video that another guy made. But I asked brother Aaron over at Black Male Travels Group about this particular clip, okay? And I asked him, did Kevin Samuels come for the passport bros? He says, not really, in my opinion. He says, if you want a real relationship with the foreign woman, you need to be able to afford to spend time overseas. Now, I don't know if Kevin Samuels has had the chance to travel lately, or I know he's been traveling in the United States, but there are some, a lot of the traveling guys, some of them can be a little bit sensitive because they think that every criticism or comment about black men who travel is always in the negative connotation. I think that it's just being in reality, all right? And as a guy who's lived outside of the United States for the last 6 years, full time, there is a lot of credence to what Kevin Samuels has said, right? That a lot of guys in the black community who are tired of dealing with African-American women, or they don't want to deal with women who are quote unquote in the matrix, because even if foreign women come into the United States, they figure like, well, they're going to be destroyed anyway. We need to go over someplace else. And the reality is that can be somewhat of a life goal, but if you are not there, it's hard to develop into something. Okay, I had a young lady I was dating. I really cared about her a lot. I was crazy about her. I lived in a different country. She lived in a different country. She, wanted me to come more often and come see her. And she asked me, and I was busy. You know what? Booty clapping sounds. Hey, she ended up, getting clapped up, and she got pregnant, right? And and that's just what happens. I was a little bit hurt behind it. But what was the issue? The issue is that I was not able to be there, full time, and she was starting it up, and I was over here selling it up. So that's the issue. And I think for a lot of guys that want to say, I want to live in different countries and meet beautiful women, which you can do, because I live in Poland. I was in Uganda for a year. I've been there a lot of times. I've been to South Africa, and men and women are amazingly gorgeous. I'm talking about if you guys like, booty, if you like, nice skin tones, dark chocolate, whatever. I mean, if you go to Africa, almost any country in sub-Saharan Africa, it's like, oh my God, it's just like there, right? Women look good, but you have to spend time with people to be able to develop something that's really real. Not only that, how do you support yourself overseas? That's another thing that guys don't really look at, okay? You need to be able to afford to spend time overseas. Like in your career, if you work a full-time job and you only able to get 2 weeks out the year, you're gonna have to make a decision. And I know a lot of guys are talking about they're tired of dealing with African American women. Okay, cool. So are you going to bring the lady over to the States? Shout out to my boy, Andrew. I think it's Andrew 26101. He keeps changing his name of his channel. Andrew, right? He brought his chick over from Dominican Republic, the Andrew Show, right? He's changed his name again. So he brought his girl over from Dominican Republic. We and him haven't done a show in a long time, but that's something that he did to stay with her. And he's like right there in Florida, which ain't far. Some guys want to live in Colombia. And that's a hop, skip, and a jump. But you know, if you can only be there for, you know, 3 weeks out the year, that's a long time for a woman to be waiting on you. And it's not really a real reality unless you can actually make chances for or preparations for her to come to America and you have the finances to do it. Otherwise, what you're looking at is a long distance relationship. And long distance relationships usually always end bad. Okay? Women are going to have needs. You're going to have needs. And a lot of guys, I think, in travel communities, unless you are a guy that, you know, you live overseas and you can afford to live overseas, you figured out how to support yourself overseas, it's not likely that most guys can do that. It's just not. It's hard for most men to make it in America. It is really difficult for a lot of guys to make it over. Some guys do it. Taylor Made Dream, shout out to him. I know Edie Cole is a good buddy of mine. She's doing really good in other places. So, you know, but I think that's just the case. I don't think that if Kevin says that, it's any shots at anybody who lives overseas. It's just harder and it takes more effort. Otherwise, what you're going to be doing is, which is something that I've done before too, I ain't gonna lie, you'll be sending money to some chick. She'll be like, "Thank music, oh thank you daddy, really appreciate you," and then booty clapping sounds, right? And then she'll be getting clapped up by somebody else. You'll be sending money, and when you come and, you know, she'll make a little lie out or whatever, and she'll come kick it with you for like a day or 2 or 3, and when you go back, she goes back to the guy. And then you don't find out till, you know, years later that, man, that she had a whole boyfriend that she was, you know, that she was living with or staying with. Or I've heard bad information, man, that guys was in relationships and the girl was already married and the husband was pimping her out and you didn't know. It's a cold game out there, you know. And what I think about is, again, for most guys, not to be so focused on that this woman is better because she's from this area. She's from Brazil, she's from Colombia, so she's better. I think about it like, whoever you're dealing with, you got to raise your level of standards. I think a lot of guys got to do that. And hey, you know, if I'm in America, I want to make $100,000 a year. My same goal is to make that kind of money if I'm in Rwanda. It doesn't matter, right? If my standards are this for a woman, educationally, or you know, that standard don't change. What you see a lot of times is when guys go to some of these countries, and I'm being honest, I see guys go to, you know, Colombia, DR, Uganda. You know, they were focused when they got there. Got to those countries, saw those chicks, saw those big old booties, not focused as much. You know, because the dates are coming easier, the quality of beauty is better, and you're not working as much as you used to. So you're indulging and your productivity is dropping and you're spending a lot more time and then you have a lot more sex and stuff like that. And then next thing you know, the money is not there as it used to be. You're not as focused. Those things happen also in the travel groups. Guys, I see it all the time. Guys get into it with other guys in the expat communities because y'all sleep with the same girl, some of them. Not all the time. Because you have brothers out there that are doing pretty good and have, you know, good business, but you know, this takes a lot of focus and determination. So I think that for the most guys, the reality is, unless you have a job that allows you to live overseas and earn quite a bit of money, it's not really a reality for a lot of black men unless they have a specific skill set. And spending money, afford a living time, and being there with a woman, it can be done. But for most people, I think it's kind of out of the question. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe at the bit. Check out the first clip at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. I'm out.